Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Sarah, and we're the Global Geezers. So we thought we'd give you an idea of when we stay someplace and when we make arrangements, the kinds of things that we're looking for. Most of our travel is on Airbnb at this point. We do stay in hotels for shorter stays, but when we're in a longer stay, like we are right now, we're looking for an Airbnb. And we have different preferences that we are looking for when we do that.
Yes. So there are certain Airbnb preferences that we look for. We look for location, safety, check-in, beds, levels, accessibility probably is the best word to put it. And we look at the photos, amenities, and then if there's any extras that go along with it.
Probably the first thing that we do when we're looking for a place is we'll go to the filters and we'll choose the different things that we specifically want in that particular Airbnb. So when we choose filters, we will check entire place because we don't want to be in a hostel or share a house where we have just a bedroom in a house. We also choose in the filter section the price. We choose how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms. There is a check that you can choose for beds. We usually don't mess with that because we want an actual separate bedroom with 4 walls and a door outside of the rest of the apartment or house.
Sometimes Sarah needs her space.
And Kevin needs his space. And we're happier if we have our own space.
Yeah, we're together 24/7, so we need a little space, a little time away.
And the other things that we look for that is in the filter section, we choose a place that has free parking on site. We also choose a washer and dryer, Wi-Fi, and air conditioning.
Those are the main ones that we go for. Everything else is just frosting. The next thing that we look into is location. Location. I want to know if it's near public transportation, if there's any safety concerns. I'll read the comments for safety concerns. I'll use Google Maps and check the area to see what kind of area it's located in. Is it industrial? Is it on a busy street? Is it near any shopping, restaurants? What's the, location is pretty much what we're looking for. To me, the number one thing is public transportation. Since we'll be traveling full time outside of the United States, we're not going to have a car unless we decide to rent a car. So I'd like to use public transportation as much as possible. It's just easier to get around. You don't have to worry about a car, the costs that go along with a car, and having to worry about finding parking.
One of the things that I look for in safety is what kind of photos they're providing in their site on Airbnb. The landlord will take photos of their property, put them on the site, and there are things that kind of make me wonder why certain things aren't shown or are shown when it's very dark or when they don't have the blinds open, if they don't provide photos of the front of the place or the area. These are all things that I'm going to wonder why they're not showing these things. Additionally, when I look at the map on the site showing where it is, I want to see what else is around it. Is it an older place? Is it a rundown place? And we'll confirm those things on Google Maps. So we'll look at Google Maps and we'll check what the area looks like. We'll also read the comments and see what people have to say about the area and what they're trying to do while they're visiting that Airbnb, and that might give us an idea.
So if you're a host watching this, photos are a big thing. Make sure you take sharp, clear, and as many pictures as you possibly can of the area, because that's what most people are judging you for, are the pictures. And then the comments. They're going to look at the pictures first, and then they're going to go right down to the comments to find out what kind of Airbnb you have. Is it a cozy place? Is it a safe place? What do you got? Like Sarah said earlier, we look for a place with at least one bedroom, a separate bedroom that we can close the door. But that bedroom also has to have a decent sized bed because, as you can see, I'm not going to fit in a full too well. So we look for queen size bed and larger, and even queen size Sarah likes to move around a lot in the bed, so I find myself on the edge. So if I can find a king-size bed, much better.
Yay!
In the room also, we both like to have our own tables, our own side tables, because I have to put my phone and my junk on my side, and she puts her phone and her junk on her side. So we're looking for that type of room as well, something that's not too small. I don't want to find a bed thrown up in the corner, because if I'm in the corner and I have to climb over Sarah at night to go to the bathroom or something like that, yes, it's not fun and it's not pretty. We're going to look for a place that has accessibility on both sides of the bed.
So show in the photos that you have tables and a place to put our clothes or whatever else, because these are things that we're also looking for. The next category is the levels or accessibility. And when we talk about that, we talk about, is it a multi-level residence or condo? Or is it a apartment on the 5th level of a building? Are we going to be carrying our suitcases up, or is there an elevator or a lift that we'll be able to haul our stuff up and down? These are things that we're also looking for. There have been plenty of Airbnbs that don't necessarily provide this information, but usually it will say somewhere on the site if it's an accessible location. And if it says that, it might say 1 or 2 steps up the front door or things of that nature.
When we're looking at the photos of the Airbnb rental, one of the things we're really looking at, what I'm looking at, is the clutter. If this is a place that looks like it's being lived in right now and you're going to move out for a month while we move in for a month and you've got your stuff everywhere, I ain't getting it. I want a place that's minimal. I mean, decorations are nice and decorations are good, but I don't want, of the picture. Decorations are good. I just don't want to see a lot of extra stuff. I don't want to see your clothes in the closet. Don't need to see photos of your family, stuff on your fridge, things like that. Just make it look like it's a rental, not like it's actually lived in. We are looking for places that are safe. We are looking at the light situation. Is it a well-lit place? Is it a dark place? Does it look like it's in a basement? Does it look like... What kind of light do we get?
Huge for me. I need lots of light.
She needs light, but with that in mind, in the bedroom, she likes blackout curtains. She doesn't want to be woken up by light at all. So sometimes there's a give and take on that. Sometimes we're going to get those rooms that are going to give you a lot of light, and they're going to give you a lot of light in the morning. You're just going to have to suffer.
Well, I need window coverings, so make that a possible for your guests.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can't always get what you want. But if you try real hard. We'll look at the dining area, find out the seating. Is it a table that's up high? Is it a table that's low? Is it a round table? Is it a glass table? We look at the table for certain aspects, because if there's not a workspace, which is one thing that I actually look for, is a workspace where I can put my computer, my cameras, and I can actually work with a nice comfortable chair. If there's not one of those in the Airbnb, I'm going to look at the dining room table, because that's where I'm going to be working. And if it's a glass table, it doesn't work with a mouse. So I have to have some kind of covering over the glass table. So there's a lot of things that go in with the dining room.
In other words, have a little workspace.
Yeah.
A little simple table for a desk. Yeah. And a nice chair to sit at.
Comfortable chair is something we look for. I mean, you don't have to do it as a host. This is just what we're looking for. Another thing that we are looking at when we are looking at Airbnbs is, does it have a balcony? Does it have a backyard? On the backyard, does it have a barbecue? On the balcony, does it have a table and chairs where we can sit out in the morning and have our coffee and look out over the city or town? What outside space does it have? That's one thing we're kind of looking for also.
Love outdoor space.
Can
you hear the birds?
Chirp, 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 chirp.
No, the real ones.
Oh.
In the check-in section, we prefer a keyless entry. This allows us to come and go as we please. We don't have to worry about carrying keys around. We don't have to worry about getting the keys from someone. Anytime we leave and come back, we just enter a code in the door and we're good. So that's the preferable key situation. The other part with check-in is we really enjoy a simple and easy kind of book, if you want to call it that, that has everything in one place. The Wi-Fi password, how to operate certain things like laundry or or
air conditioner, heater.
if there's a thermostat, have one place that has
all the directions,
all of the information in one place. So if we have a question about something in the Airbnb, we can go right to that and get what we need, and the question is easily answered.
Amenities that we like to see in an Airbnb is a basic toolkit, because some things do break, and if I can't find a wrench, then I have to contact the host and say, hey, where's your wrench? Anytime I don't have to contact the host, that's good. I don't want to bother the host. I don't want to be a bothersome guest. Have a little set of tools, screwdrivers, wrench. If you have using that IKEA furniture, one of those Allen wrenches is good. Something that we can use to just do little fixes here. We've already touched on the blinds in the room, which are very important to someone we know. In the bathrooms, we do like to have towel racks or hooks, someplace where we can hook up our towels when they're wet. I also like a little vanity area that has a place for me to put my toiletry bag. A hook where I can hook the toiletry bag on, a place where Sarah can put out her stuff that she needs. Just give us a little space, even if it's a little shelving unit. A little shelving unit goes a long way. It's a nice thing to have. So we'll look for that too. We look for places with TVs. It's not necessary. If it does have a TV, we hope that it has an HDMI port on the back, because we carry an Apple TV with us so we can watch stuff that we're used to watching. Because if we're in a foreign country, normally we're not going to know the language. We'll hook up our own Apple TV and watch our stuff through there. Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff that we
YouTube.
Yeah. We've already gone over the outdoor space, a little place to have a little coffee in the morning, which would be nice.
Chirping birds.
If not, but this is stuff that we kind of look for. It's not necessarily what everybody looks for.
That a lot of Airbnbs have.
Right.
It's not necessarily going to be available, but if it is.
Right. We'll take advantage of it. And then I think the biggest thing for Sarah is kitchen supplies. Everybody,
for now.
Well, for now. While we're making our own meals, especially. Sarah likes to have a good set of knives. We like to have enough plates where we don't have to do the dishes after every meal. I know that a lot of the hosts just leave 4 or 6 plates. 8 plates is even better. A little more, silverware that match the plates is good. So if you have 8 plates, 8 forks is good. We like to have some Tupperware. Tupperware helps, so as we do our meals, then we can just put leftovers in the Tupperware. We don't have to go out and buy Tupperware. Anything that we don't have to go out and buy extra for a comfortable 1-month stay is really good for us. If you've got some spices in a spice rack, that's always helpful, so we don't have to go out and buy a whole thing of spice for just one meal. I know everybody usually has salt, pepper, but if there's, like garlic salt and chili powder or, curry powder or anything like that.
Olive oil or some kind of oil for a pan,
right,
or sugar packets for either coffee or that kind of thing is always helpful. And that's another whole section, is having some basics for coffee. Now we've gotten to kitchen supplies, and these are some things that I'm looking for longer stays like what we're doing right now. Sharp knives, and a variety of knives preferably, or a way to sharpen them. Coffee options. A coffee pot is wonderful, and a Keurig is wonderful. A combination of those two would be absolutely perfect. Cooking and baking utensils. Some of the basics would be a decent sized spatula, a whisk, tongs, things that we're going to be using in your kitchen. Not in your kitchen. A kitchen.
Things we're going to use in the kitchen.
Towels, meaning cloth towels, one for drying your hands, one for drying dishes. If you have an oven, we're going to need oven mitts, at least 2. In addition, we're probably going to need some hot pads to set hot dishes onto. A cutting board, a griddle for making pancakes, grilled cheese, you name it. A griddle is very helpful. A casserole dish or a couple of heat tolerable dishes for either putting in the oven or melting things in the microwave. Measuring cups and spoons, and serving dishes. Something large enough to mix a salad, something large enough to plate and put on the table for a dinner would be perfect.
A nice set of pots and pans would be good too.
Yeah. Well, that's basic.
Some of the extras that we really like to see, and it's not essential, and it's not the stuff that we're actually looking on the Airbnb site for.
But it would be nice.
But it's a nice thing, and sometimes people put in the comments that these are there. Some of the things are bottled water, spices, ice maker, ice, paper supplies for toilet paper, paper towels, Kleenex, a barbecue, and some tools for the barbecue. I like a night light in the bathroom, so when I get up to go to the bathroom at night, I don't run into the bed and wake her up, because that's not a good sight. Cooking oil is a nice thing to have. Laundry supplies, cleaning supplies, and coffee supplies.
Very important.
Yeah. Well, if it has some coffee supplies, it's always a nice little feature.
It makes it easy to
get in the first day.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and buy our own stuff eventually, but it's nice to have that stuff when we first get there, so we don't have to rush out to get it.
There are things that we like to bring, and those include a down blanket, which is wonderful because it's packable, and it can be used either as a throw on a sofa or on the bed for additional warmth. We always carry a very small cutting board and a small knife. We have found that we've had to use these in certain circumstances because we haven't found one in the Airbnb that we've been staying in. Additionally, hand towels, some for the kitchen, some for the bathroom, because sometimes we don't have anything to dry our hands with in a kitchen besides paper towels. Reusable shopping bags. I have a couple of cloth ones that I use that I take with us for markets and grocery shopping. And we also have a large plastic IKEA bag that's a reusable bag, and we'll use that for laundry, if we're going to go to the beach and we have towels that we're bringing and whatever else. Additionally, we bring power strips. We each have our own for our electronics, but I've been carrying an extra one that we can plug into the living room area, and that way we just have something that we can juice up our electronics while we're sitting on the sofa or watching a show. And that's been making it a little bit easier as well.
Of course, other considerations are the length of stay. We are doing more of month stays as opposed to the short-term stays. So we like to have all these extra things in it to make it just more comfortable for us to be here for the entire month. Of course, your stay may vary, whether you're here for work, vacation, if it's a family gathering. The place we're at right now, the Greensboro Coliseum, is right down the road, so they book it here and then they go to the concert, and then the next day they go home. So a lot of short-term stays are done here, but this is a very good place for a long stay as well. Hence, we've added more time onto our stay here. Of course, the number one thing that we are looking for is price. During this pandemic, not a lot of people are traveling right now. So the best thing for an Airbnb host is to make sure that they undercut the other Airbnb host that has the same amenities. We're gonna go for price. I mean, the last place we were at was a really good place, had a good price when we got there, but as we stayed there and the next time I saw it available, it was almost double the price it was when we booked it, and I don't understand why. So now it's sitting empty. They're not making any money. This guy got smart, saw what people are doing, and just undercut everybody, and we're here. So I don't know if he's making a lot of money on it, but he's not losing any money. So as an Airbnb host, I think you would want to look into that to make sure that you're competitive.
Especially for longer term stays. We're talking about a month at a time.
Right.
Get that discount down on your monthly rate when you have somebody looking. Otherwise, we're going to pass you up.
Discounts are huge. So these are the things that we like to see in an Airbnb and things that we look for when we're looking at the Airbnb listings. When we go overseas, things will change because, for example, Southeast Asia, it's cheaper to eat out than it is to buy groceries and eat in your place. So we'll be doing much more eating out then.
And places where we'll want to try a lot of more the local foods, enjoy the local ways that they eat out at different times or different ways. We'll want to experience that more rather than cooking in our Airbnb. So we won't be looking for as many things as we're traveling to different countries, typically.
If you're an Airbnb host, I hope this helps you kind of identify the things that long-term travelers like us are looking for in a place. If you want to start using Airbnb and you're not sure how to use Airbnb, we'll post a link below where you can click and you can get $40 off. I think it's $40 off your first Airbnb stay. So if you want to use the link and set up an Airbnb account, and when the pandemic is lifted and you can travel and you want to try using Airbnb and traveling, go ahead and use the link.
We've really enjoyed it. And by using the link that we put below, it also benefits us because we get a little bit of a discount the next time we stay as well. So thank you ahead of time.
So thank you for watching this episode of Global Geezers, I guess. This quarantine, this pathetic showing.
No, don't call it that.
Thanks for watching. How about just thanks for watching? Thanks for watching. You want to look at the camera instead of so.
No.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to get out some other content soon, but we'll see with what's going on.
Yeah, give us some ideas.
Yep.
Leave
Comments. Stop it. Bye.
Bye.